Hey everybody, how you doing? Mark here. We're in my driveway because today we're going to put air in the shocks and the tires, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so in my last video, my last riding video anyway, I made mention that I had yet to get my bike ready for the riding season. So that's one of the things we're going to do today. And today what we're going to do, as I said in the intro, we are going to put air in the back shocks, and I'm going to put air in the two tires as well. I can definitely feel the little bit of riding that I've been doing so far. I can definitely tell the shocks are completely out of air and my back tire is really quite low. I haven't quite checked my front tire. It feels okay, but more than likely it's low too from sitting all winter long. So I have my own air compressor. I know a lot of people don't have their own air compressor. I am fortunate to have my own, so I feel privileged about that. But yeah, it's been really good. Now this dial here controls the air pressure. Okay, and there's a little dial here. I usually have mine set somewhere between 40 and 50 pounds per square inch. I want to tell you right now that in order to do the rear shocks on the stock Vulcan 1600s, you cannot have a lock like this. Okay, this is off of a standard bicycle pump, and you cannot have one that actually locks onto the threads. Okay, you need to have one that looks like this. Okay, it's a nice little quick release. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the cover off the valve stem, of course, and then you're just going to quickly go psh, and that's it. It's just a short little burst. You don't sit there and go psh. All right, the bladder inside that rear shock is really small, and so oops, I accidentally pulled that down. There we go. Oh, that was funny. So anyway, you just need to give it a little thunk and that's it. Okay, that bladder will fill up like that, and what you're aiming for is something around a 35-pound range. And we will use a simple little tire pressure gauge. This is the stick model, so you put it on. This one goes either way, either that side or that side, and then it shoots out a little stick, and then there's a little glass ball there, and you'll be able to read the pressure through that little glass ball. Okay, so these can be notoriously wrong all the time because people don't take care of them. They might get a little bend in them or something like that, and then the stick does not slide out the way it's supposed to. But I feel that these are still good enough for most cases. Okay, so if you want to go out and get yourself a digital one or even an analog one that has a little needle that moves, go ahead and do that. Okay, the main thing for doing those rear shocks is the quick release. You've got to have this. Otherwise, if you have one that locks down, by the time you flip that lock open and pull it off, all your air is gone. I guarantee it. Okay, so quick release, number one thing. Okay guys, so here we are on the back of the bike. This is my rear shock right here. Okay, now I'm going to zoom you in to get a real close look at it. All right, I got you zoomed in pretty tight. This is the top of the rear shock here. This is the mounting bolt right here. This black right here is the edge, the back edge of the driver's seat. And then right here, this black here is my saddlebag. So I can actually move that a little bit. All right, so there's my rear shock right here. This is a preload adjustment thing. I can take that and I can move it between 1 and 4. I'm a lard ass, so I set it on 4. Okay, now I'm hoping you guys can see this all right. This right here is the valve cover Okay, so you see that? So just like a standard threaded bicycle tire or regular tire valve cover. Put that down where you won't lose it. All right, so then you got the threaded area for the air valve here. Now, this is going to go very fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, that's it. Did you see that? That's all I did. I'm going to take my tire pressure sensor, and I had about 20 pounds in there. You see it through the glass bubble there? It's about 20 pounds. I actually want it a little higher than that. So I'm actually going to let all the air out of it again. I'm going to turn up my pressure on my tank. Okay, as you can see, I'm just about 40 psi. I'm two nicks above 50. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. All right, so now I'm at 50 psi. I'm going to give it another shot for inflation. Okay, so here we go. That's it. Let's see what I got this time. All right, so yeah, that's about how I want it. Right around close to, come on, it's close to 30. It's a little low. I'm going to try it one more time just to give you another shot of it. All the air is out. And get it kind of lined up, and that's it. That's all I did. Okay, so that was it. I mean, that is that easy. It's just the technique. You got to be able to get it on and off in just a second, okay? You do not sit there and hold it on to that rear shock at all. It's just poof, on, off, okay? All right, I got to go over and do the other one, and I'll show you that. It's the exact same way. All right, so here's my second shock right here. Take the valve cover off. And again, that's it. Let's check the pressure. Okay, that was close, but I lost a lot because if you heard, I had a hard time getting this onto the valve, but I think that would have been a good fill. So I'm going to do it one more time. All right, that's it. That's all we're going to do. Okay, it's basically the same thing to fill your tire. Take your valve stem off. Now the valve stem here, when it comes out of the rim, comes up and turns at a 90-degree angle. So it makes it a good, easy fill area. Now I've already measured the tire and it's already at 20 psi, so I'm going to hold this on there for probably about 10 seconds. There we go. We got 30 pounds. Okay, the back tire is good to go. Let's put it on the front tire and fill that up. All right, now I have not pre-measured my air pressure on this, so we will go ahead and do that now, see how much we got in there. All right, so I've got maybe about 25-ish pounds there. Give this another shot here. Okay, so that took me up to 30. All right, you guys, that is it. That was a nice, easy job. Got air in the front and back wheels and air in both rear shocks. The front forks do not require any air pressure at all, so don't worry about that, okay? I'm gonna get my compressor put away, and then I'm gonna gear up and we're gonna go out for a ride and check out the new ride on these freshly inflated tires and shocks. Oh, one last thing before I get geared up and go for the ride. Remember that the air pressure is subject to what you like, okay? You do not have to put 30 pounds per tire and 30 pounds in your shocks. If you don't like it that stiff, use a lower air pressure, okay? If you want, you know, like a 28 or 26, you go right ahead and you run a 26 PSI, okay? I like it a little stiffer, so I go with 30. Oh yeah, this is what it's about. The temperature is almost 70 degrees. I think we're around like 67. Oh, all right, look at this. No gloves, no muffs, no dicky, no secondary coat. It's still a little cool, so I need to have my leathers on, but I'd have no leather chaps. Nothing like that. Just so nice to get out and ride a little bit. You know what? I want to really give these newly inflated shocks and tires a real trial, and I know a fairly bumpy road where we can do that. It'll just take a little while to get there. Kind of wish that they would put a light at this corner. It gets so busy. I can tell you right now, there is a huge improvement from my last time I rode the bike. It is so much stiffer and more pleasurable. I don't feel like I'm on a waterbed. Now, before, my shocks were so soft, I'd be like, loingy, loingy, loingy. I just am not feeling it now. My tires are more rigid. Feel like I have better gripping power. Yeah, you guys got to make sure that you have proper inflation on your tires. I mean, some people might like that soft ride and stuff, and that's fine. If you like it, go for it. But for me, I need a little more stiffness in those shocks and tires. Hey, you guys want in on a little bit of a secret? I have actually been bike shopping. Now, don't get overly excited, okay? That does not mean that I'm going to buy anything, but I have been looking, and my heart is kind of driving me into a direction. I'm not going to say what it is. I don't want to jinx it. I've talked to my wife about it a little bit, and we'll see what happens. I'm waiting to see if this little blue Mustang is actually going to take off and squawk the tires. I tell you, I don't understand. Look at those tires. Look how big they are. I mean, those got to be like 24-inch tires. Or 24-inch rims anyway. I've seen so many cars like that. I call them wagon wheels. You know, they get rims that are so freaking huge for the vehicle. To me, it looks gaudy. I guess to them it looks cool. But in order for those large rims to work, they have to get these really thin tires. I call them rubber band wheels is what I call them, because that's about how thick they are. So yeah, the big rims on any vehicle, could be a truck or a car, doesn't matter. But yeah, I like calling those wagon wheels. That's what it reminds me of. The big old wooden spoked wheels on old wagons. Get on the wagon train heading west. Oh, and seriously, I've seen, I think I think I've seen probably about 5 of them go by the front of my house today, and that's just in front of my house. Don't know where they're all going. I don't know if they all have the same friend or hang out together and brag about their wagon wheels, but I think it's just funny. Alright, so right up here where it goes from the fresh blacktop to the old stuff, this is where it's going to get really bumpy. Trust me, I know you're sitting there watching my head bouncing around and stuff for a track. Ugh. I know you're watching me bounce around, and I am not exaggerating these movements, okay? The road is that hard. But yeah, to me, I need to have that stiffness. Little male lady there. Alright, I'm actually going to turn right here. And that's all I'm going to really do just for a test ride, guys. I'm going to actually start making my way back home. This is another little bumpy road. It gets really bad once I round this corner here. So this is Mark saying thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you learned how to fill your tires with air along with your shocks. The main thing I want to emphasize in this video, if you're going to do the shocks, you've got to have that quick release air valve on there. If you have a locking system on it, it's just going to get bound up on the threads as you're trying to take it off, and you're going to lose all your air, okay? And it only takes a second to fill up the shock. Do not hold it on there for any amount of time. Just that's it. If you're not getting the right poundage off of just this quick little burst, play with your compressor's PSI setting. Okay, so thanks again for watching, guys. Stay tuned next week. I'm gonna have a cooking video come out, and what am I wanting to do? You know what, I got D&D coming up here in a couple of days, and my daughter usually makes dinner for the D&D group. But we always have a snack as we're playing, or a dessert after dinner, and I think I'm going to make dessert. So if you want to see me actually bake something, come back next week and you'll see what it is. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the road. Bye.